Plain Omari Beats.
I think that those who are interested in the Orthodox Church and the Orthodox tradition, I think there are two things that I would really very strongly suggest. If I could insist upon it, I would. One is that the people who would come, obviously people come with their experiences, their ideas, their formation, mental and spiritual. But I think that what happens very often, which is rather unfortunate and unhappy, is that people come with their idea already about what the Orthodox Church is and what the tradition is. And it's very often fashioned by their experiences with Christianity before they come. And so what happens is that, in the old days we would say that people think that, Orthodoxy is kind of like Roman Catholicism, but without the Pope and without scholasticism and without the numbers and without the clout. It's sort of a kind of, forgive me for saying this, kind of retarded or old-fashioned Roman Catholicism without, the modern appurtenances like the papacy and so on. And then other folks think of Orthodoxy as some kind of Protestantism of the East, where because the Orthodox Church does not have scholastic tradition and does not have, the papacy and that kind of thing, then they kind of think, well, it's sort of liturgical and mystical Protestantism, where others think that it's kind of Catholicism, but not kind of up to par. So I would just beg everybody, if you're interested in the Orthodox Church, to realize not to prejudge. Not to come. I mean, you're going to have the questions. The questions are going to be formulated by your tradition. Are you for Scripture and tradition, or Scripture or tradition, or faith and works, or how many sacraments are there, 2 or 7 or something? Well, you have to know that Eastern Orthodox tradition, which is very long and very complex and went through a lot of vicissitudes through history, is in fact a different Christian tradition. It comes from the gospel. It comes from the apostles. It's basically Asian. It's Eastern. It's not Western European. I always mention that the Eastern Orthodox don't know St. Augustine, don't know the High Middle Ages, certainly don't know Protestantism. Some people even joke we don't know the Enlightenment either, which may be a blessing. But we don't have the Reformation. It's a different Christian tradition. It's a different history, a different way of experiencing faith. And I think that should be kept very strongly in mind when people come into contact with Orthodoxy. So I would suggest incredible patience. Be very patient, take your time, test things, and realize that a lot of times what's going to happen is the kind of questions that are raised can't be answered. The questions have to be changed. You have to reformulate the question in order to come up with an answer that would be proper. For example, I don't know, if someone would say, are the walls in this room, purple or orange? You got to answer one of them. Well, you can't answer either because the walls are neither purple nor orange. They're brown. So how you formulate the question and how you approach it, it will be fashioned by your experience. But keep in mind, you're encountering a Christian tradition that has a different experience, a different way of dealing with things, a different way of interpreting the Bible, a different understanding of worship, a different understanding of sacramental life, and don't forget the episcopate and the priesthood, that's a sacramental dimension. How is that understood? And I would say it is neither Latin Catholic nor Reformed Protestant. Whether it's evangelical or liberal, it's different. And you got to be very aware of that difference. That would be the first thing, and it may be the basic thing. Patience, taking the tradition on its own terms, bringing your questions, but always being ready to have the question reformulated, because within that tradition it can't be answered very often the way it's asked.
Hi again. Hope you enjoyed this episode from an interview with Father Thomas Hopko of blessed memory. Please subscribe to get notified when new episodes become available. And if you enjoy the content on this channel, please consider supporting it. There's a link to the support page on our website below this video. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.